Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Sisters Talk podcast. I'm your host, Danny M, and today Mr. TMI TATE. So we were laughing it up behind the scenes. I had a funny video that I wanted to play for you guys, but it was just too small. And I know a lot of my friends wear glasses, so it was no point playing it. But I want to thank you for taking out time out of your busy day,
No
Mr.
problem.
Tate, for being on the show.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the invite.
Definitely, definitely. So, definitely, without further ado, please let them know who you are and where you're from.
Well, half the time I don't know who I am, so I'm gonna do the best that I can. It's like on the job interview when they say, "Tell me about yourself." That's a hard question, but my name is Tate Richard. I'm from Chicago, west side of Chicago, and I moved to the Dallas, the DFW area about 21 years, maybe 20 years ago. And haven't looked back since. When I first came down here, I actually did not know one person outside of my in-laws. And I'm a pretty outgoing person. So I talk to folks. I don't know about everybody else, but I talk to folks. We can be standing in the line. I'm gonna talk. Right. And I was able to meet a lot of people, and now it's to a point where, man, I go someplace and I run into people I know all the time just going to the store. So It's been a blessing. It's really been a blessing to make that move years ago.
Wow. So 20 years. I mean, you left Chicago to move to the area that you're in down in the South, and you haven't looked back.
No, because I don't know about you, but it's cold as hell up there. And I knew that I was going to get old one day, and them bones don't work right in that cold.
Yeah, but that was 20 years ago. You were half your age. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to me, because we went and we visited Chicago. I can say one thing about it. Well, two things. It's beautiful and very diverse. That's actually, I'm going to go into three things. And the third thing is that it's expensive. It's very expensive there. Like, we spent a lot of money when we went on that trip, and we were only there for about 5 or 6 days. But I will say that a lot of historical sites that we went to, a lot of good food, but expensive. And yes, it was cold. It started snowing the next day that we got.
I'm glad you said food, because that's the only thing I miss.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, Dallas, I respect y'all. I get it, but you can't touch Chicago on the food. Yeah.
Now, I'm not a big football fan, but I got to give props to the Dallas Cowboys. They're doing their thing. So
they doing their thing.
Shout out to Grandma Jackie, who gave me this years ago. But yeah, like it's interesting though. It's so interesting to hear a lot of people that used to live in the North that migrate down to the South. And I mean, you guys stayed. You never moved back.
Well, I'm gonna say this. When I got married, I knew that I did not want to raise a family in Chicago. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the city. I love my people. I love the people that's up there, family and all. However, I just knew that it was a struggle. It's a struggle. And I'm like, if I can live here, I mean, if I can survive here, I can go any other place and live.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what I've been doing since I've been in Dallas.
That makes sense. A lot of sense to me. Definitely. So today's show, we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about some challenges. We all face challenges. We were talking about a little bit of that behind the scenes as well. We know how a lot of people's career paths have changed tremendously due to everything that's going on. So we'll just go right into that first question and name a leader that you consider to be the most influential and tell us why.
I'm going to say this. I am a Christian man, and I believe Jesus Christ died for my sins. And so I'm saying that so people don't get it twisted. But I got to put the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Okay.
They always
I knew who you were talking about. Yeah, before you
I got to say Minister Louis Farrakhan, because I just love what, in my opinion, I think that they produce a better black man in America. I'm just saying, I understand everybody else. However, I just love the discipline, and I love the pride, and I love how they stand on what they believe.
Right.
And what he speaks about, he don't let anybody waver his thoughts based on how he think they're going to feel about him. And I think that that's my attitude. I don't really care about what people are going to think about me. I describe myself as being a square that don't fit a circle. So I gotta put him as very influential person in my life.
And that's interesting that you say that, because a lot of people, even if they think it, they're not really bold enough to say it. But right. I think, you know, times are changing for obvious reasons, and I think more people are feeling more comfortable to agree. At least I've seen some of his work, I've seen some of his talks, and I definitely agree with your statement. I think also too, just people just being who they are, really right. working on being who they really are, their authentic selves, not holding back. I think a key thing that you just said is not worrying about what other people think, because sometimes we hinder our own success because we're worried about what others think of us. You can't do that. So absolutely. Definitely a great answer. I see absolutely. You did your homework. So moving on to question number 3. What does it take to be, in your opinion, a successful entrepreneur?
Well, I'm going to say, first of all, you have to be, and this is a shameless plug, you got to be bold and driven. You got to be bold and driven.
You see it.
And please understand that it's going to be many days that you're going to feel alone. It's going to be many days that you're going to feel unsupported. You're just going to feel like you can't go on. But you have to persevere through those things in order to see the greatness that you are able to accomplish. And so in being an entrepreneur, you got to understand that there's ups and downs, there's ebb and flows, there's people that come in and people that go out, and you have to stay the course. You got to stay the course and truly believe in what you are producing out here. And I promise you, you'll be successful.
Wow, that's really, really sound advice. I'm telling you, so many people give up because they don't feel supported. So many people stop what they're doing because they don't have anyone to help them. But if you have the gift, you need to get started and do the work, right?
And can I say, let's be for real. You know, a lot of people look at strong people and think strong people don't get weak. Exactly. It was a point in time that I was about to give up. I was about to throw in the towel. Mm-hmm. And I was this close to saying, you know what? I'm not going to do another show. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm done. Nobody's going for it. Not going for it, but nobody's supporting. Nobody's watching. Nobody's buying. Nobody's doing anything. So you know what? I kid you not. I gave up on the couch. And that lasted for about 15 minutes. And I shook it off and said, you know what? I don't care if one person is watching. That one person deserves a show. Definitely.
I agree with that 100%. And especially when you do things like how we do podcasts, different sources of entertainment and things like that. It's not easy starting out because nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows what it is that you're even trying to do. And you can tell them what you're doing a million times. But until they understand your rhythm and understand, well, until somebody famous gets your rhythm too. You know, sometimes it takes for them to see other people that inspire them catch your wave. And then all of a sudden it's like you're on, right? So it just depends. Everybody's situation is different. But I guess the main story behind what we're talking about right now is just don't give up. Keep going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And unfortunately, and I have to say this, we as Black entrepreneurs have a little different obstacle because we always want us to support our business. We're looking for us to hold us up. However, a lot of us won't jump onto something until it's so-called big enough for us to support. So that's definitely an obstacle when you're small like us, where you're trying to get the attention of especially our people to support. And they feel like, well, you ain't doing it. Don't nobody watch. You know, we famous for saying, don't know where that. Don't nobody watch that. I ain't putting that on. And then when it's something blows up, then we're, oh, yeah, that's my cousin. That's
I always knew you were going to make it.
I knew it. I supported you. See, look, I got the shirt you gave me a long time ago.
That's crazy. We definitely have to get out of that mindset. And I think that we are slowly but surely starting to see the light. We're starting to see that it's important that we invest in ourselves and also our fellow brothers and sisters to keep business thriving. I mean, we're making everybody else's business thrive. Why can't we do it for ourselves? So very good gems you just dropped there. So let me ask you, what brand do you represent, Mr. TMI Tate? And give us some of the history behind your brand.
All right, I represent Bold and Driven Entertainment Productions. That is a virtual or remote podcasting service where podcasts such as yourself, we can remote produce your podcast and add quality and value to your podcast from the comforts of your own home. It sounded like I just did a commercial, didn't it?
You did.
And so I'm going to say that, where did it start? You know, I've always been the type of person to believe in ownership versus just being just belonging ship, for lack of a better word that I just made up. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, it started out the Bad Squad. Bad is Bold and Driven, and the Bad Squad was a show, just a podcast, just like everybody else. However, I encouraged my co-host at the time to say, look, we're not just going to be more people talking behind a microphone. We're going to give them a show. We're going to be controlled chaos. And the show was extremely successful. Shout out to my former co-hosts, Allison Denise and Dorian Moat and D Moat. But we started out as the Bad Squad, ended up winning awards very shortly after joining Fishbowl Radio Network. That's a plug for Sammy as well. And so we moved the podcast to a couple of other spots, and I just wasn't satisfied. You know, you're paying all this money and you're not getting the quality that you're looking for. So at that point, I started hunting for my own solution, which means, look, I know I can do this myself. I know I can produce a quality podcast myself from the comforts of my own home. And so I started doing TMI News. TMI would take the news edition. And I went through my troubles. I had sound trouble. I had image trouble and all that other stuff. And I just had to learn. Hey, oops, did that. Made that mistake, won't do it again. All right, man, I want this to happen. So I did my research, and I want this platform I want to play this on the platform. So I had to look for different platforms, such as StreamYard that we're currently on, to have my show on that's going to give me what I'm looking for in my show. And so once I perfected that, I knew that at that point, Bold and Driven Entertainment Productions can help other podcasts that's searching for the same thing, because I've run into a few of my podcasting friends that now call me and ask me questions saying, hey, how can I do that? And I have no problem assisting. And so to say now where we are coming into 2022, we have 4 shows that will be on Tuesday through Friday. And now it's a full-fledged production company /channel/station.
Very, very nice. You know what? That's major. Like, to go through some of the stuff that you went through and then just say, hey, you know what? Have the confidence in yourself to be able to push a full brand and production company. That is huge. So congratulations to you on all the many ventures that are to come. You're just getting started. So shout out to you and your entire team. And thank you for sharing that with us. So let me ask you, with much success, you know, there's gonna come failure, there's gonna come disappointments, there's gonna come lack of support, there's gonna come all these many challenges. So can you recall your biggest obstacle so far?
To me, my biggest obstacle, I am pretty much a face value. What you see is what you get. Nothing hidden. And unfortunately, we are in the entertainment industry. And in this industry, you have those that come in with hidden motives. And I got to say, I call it brand leeching. That's where they take their small brand, attach it to your brand that they see as bigger, suck the resources out your brand to make their brand larger, and then move on. You have those. It exists. So trying to filter through who really want to rock with you versus who's going to be a brand leech has been a huge obstacle. And I have taken my lumps and learned some very valuable lessons in this thing. So to point out a particular situation, I could do that, but I try not to give that any energy or power. But I just want everybody to know that when you're out there and you have your brand and you are putting all the sweat equity in your brand, protect your brand, do the right things, do what it takes to protect your brand.
I definitely have to second that. I myself experienced that just last year, 2021. So I actually took notes. Brand leeching, I've never heard of, but that is the exact term that fits perfectly for what we're talking about right now.
I ain't gonna lie, I made that up, but it applies.
It does. It's the perfect term for it. So yeah, I think a lot of us experience that too, and we don't realize until after it's already happened. So just being aware of who you're working with, that's major. In fact, anytime I do new projects, I put them on an NDA. I'm not playing. Like, if we're gonna do some business together, I don't need you just saying 1 minute, okay, I'm in it, and the next minute I'm gone. And now you taking all the ideas and concepts and everything that I've worked hard on putting together and giving it to someone else, or you're doing it yourself. So Dick Dillinger says brand jacking, for a better term. Yeah.
Because that, and in my opinion, if you say brand jacking, it's two different things. It's two different things, because brand jacking is somebody literally stepping in and becoming the face of your brand and pushing you out. And I'll be honest, I gave the key, I call it giving the keys of my car to someone else. I've done that before for that person only to turn around and not even want me to get a ride in my own damn car.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's very foul out here, but people will do whatever they can do to try to get to the top. So guys, just be safe and take care of business first. If you have a contract, you better use it.
Contracts.
Yeah, like seriously, there's tons of free templates out there. So all you have to do is download and manipulate and send them out. Get a good DocuSign and send it off to who you're working with. So another good gem there. Thank you. Thank you too, Dick Dillinger, for chiming in with brand jacking. That's hilarious. All right. So now moving on from the obstacles, Mr. TMI Tate, can you elaborate on some of the collaborations you'll have this year and any further collabs that you're excited about?
I'm excited about a secret collab that I can't reveal at this time. I'm super excited about it, but it is on TMI Sports Talk, which is a new show that's launching on my birthday, actually, the 21st of January. So we're going to party that day. You're going to have to stop through it, and holler. But I'm excited about that, as well as excited about the acquisition of a new show called Clay's Couch that will be on Thursdays on Bold and Driven Entertainment Productions on the YouTube channel. So please subscribe. And then coming back, who I love dearly, is a show called Two Different Twins. Now, Two Different Twins is two twin sisters that look just alike, but they are totally different when it comes to the way they live their lives. And when I tell you entertaining, it is so entertaining, so entertaining. So going into 2022, I look forward to working with those shows that are already going. And then I actually have 3 more shows on the table that contract is pending in order to bring them on over to Bold and Driven Entertainment Productions.
Nice. You have a lot of exciting ventures that are coming. A lot of
and I'm sorry, she will kill me if I don't say this. I am so sorry. But I'm also hosting a gala in April for Virtuous Kingdom Ministries. And I want to send a shout out to Nikita Pogue. I've been working with her for a long time now. And so we go and we feed every Christmas for sure, but we feed throughout the year in Fort Worth. So I'm very happy, and I definitely am in the community helping and assisting those that are in need. So
that's a plus. You know, I just made a statement like last month, actually. You could be making all the money in the world, but if you're not giving back, what exactly are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Like, you're not even helping the situation. So yeah, thank you so much for giving back to the community. And it sounds like you have the right circle with you. So keep doing what you're doing.
We're a bunch of squares over here. I don't fit in no circle. We're a bunch
no
of squares.
pun intended.
No, it is a pun intended. I tell them I'm a square. You don't hang out? Nope. You don't do this? Nope. Yeah, I'm a square.
That's stay focused. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Sure. So let me ask you, what advice do you have for future entrepreneurs? Not to say that you haven't already given tons of it, but what would be your main takeaway that you would like to share? Future
entrepreneurs, I want to let you know that your idea is not stupid, dumb, or won't be supported. I will tell you, I'm going to be candid. I mean, that's what I plan on coming on here to do. I had someone tell me, you want to be on the radio. Nobody want to hear you on the radio. I had someone tell me, you want to do stand-up comedy. You're not funny. Now, if you listen to those things that people tell you, and sometimes it come from family, close friends, or whatever, if you listen to those things, you're already defeated. If your idea is stupid to them and you believe in them, then you're going to think your stuff is stupid and you're never going to come out with it. Mr. TMI was developed because somebody said, dang, man, you tell too much information. TMI. So I said, I guess I'm Mr. TMI then. You know, and you brand those things. It's never, look, especially nowadays, it's never too stupid for you to brand. And you will be shocked at what people attach themselves to. So I'm going to say, for future entrepreneurs out there, believe in yourself, man. No matter what you're told, you're going to be told a lot of things, but do not let that waver you from what God is putting on your heart for you to put out there.
Best advice, for real, that I've heard all day. So true. And let me ask you, the people who were telling you that, why are you doing a podcast? Nobody's going to listen, and all this other negative stuff you just mentioned. I'm going to assume it was somebody that was close to you.
Oh, extremely close. Extremely close. My family. Let's be for real.
Let it out, brother.
I love them dearly. But my family told me, you stupid for moving to Texas.
Wow.
It is what it is. Yeah. But if I would have let that deter me, I would not be where I am, and I would not know the awesome people that I know right now.
That's right. I agree 100%. So it's usually the people that you know that you assume will be in your corner, that will be supporting everything that you do, but they don't care. And the reason why they don't care is not because they don't love you. It's just because they don't see you in that light. They see you a different way. And human beings, this is just a natural human behavior. We gravitate to things that we can understand. When you start transforming and morphing into the person that God has destined you to be, everybody can't see that transition, and everybody's not going to go through the transition with you. So that's the reason why you hear a lot of people say you can't take everybody with you. You cannot, try to remain friends with certain people that do certain things when you're trying to be in a different space in your life. Right. All of that is basically what we're sharing on this show today is, really embrace your growth. Growing means that you're going to shed a lot of things. You're going to shed old habits. You're going to shed old ways. You're going to shed old people, old friends, sometimes family members too,
Yes,
family members can get it too,
close people.
We still love you, but if you're not going to give me at least at the very minimum positive affirmations, then why do I want to continue sharing my ideas with you, sharing my growth opportunities with you, or even sharing my success with you? I'll share a story with you guys that I don't mind sharing. I won't name any names, but very close. I shared the fact that I did a TED Talk last year, and I was super excited about that. And it may not even have been last year. It may have been 2020. I can't remember now because I did so much within the last 2 years. But this person was like, oh, yeah, we'll get around to watching it. We're talking about TED Talk. Like, this is a big, big deal. Like, and not only is it a big deal, what I talked about, the topic was extremely rare and very forthcoming, right? And so, with that being said, I assumed that I would have had more support than that, but I didn't. And that's okay. That's okay. But it was an eye opener for me. But nevertheless, I'm grateful for that opportunity. And guess what? I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you having your own podcast, you know this. How many times people come up to you and say, "Hey, I see what you're doing, man. Keep going," and you never see them on your podcast.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know who's watching, and I don't even keep up. You know why? Because I'm just head down, working, working,
Right.
working. And I
Right.
feel like when it's time, people will catch your wave. They'll catch my wave. They'll catch the waves that need to be caught in their own timing. That's how I look at life, and that's how I look at what I do. The moment that I feel like it's time for this to retire, I'll just end it. But right
Right.
now, it's something in me that's saying I have to keep going. It's something in you that's telling you you have to keep going. You have to keep building. So we just have to follow that inner voice and not worry about the people who don't get it. They'll get it one day.
Absolutely.
They'll get it
Absolutely.
one day. But
Like
by then, you would have changed your number, and me too.
exactly. I quit on the couch. I promise you.
Yeah.
If it was a boxing match, I quit on the stool. But,
Exactly. And people have to
and
understand that. Like, don't even now, I've had people tell me that I've forgotten where I come from, and I'm like, wait a minute, have I? Because I have a nonprofit that is specifically dedicated towards giving back to our communities and other communities that are impoverished. So here's my thing, guys. To all the people that are standing back just watching, why don't you start helping? When you start helping, you'll start seeing who's doing what and who
right.
hasn't forgotten anyone. You know, we just have to stop with the and I think we're doing better. We got to stop standing on the sidelines and judging people and get in there and help us do the work. If we start helping each other, we don't have time to do that. We don't have time to talk about that kind of stuff. So
I think we have the mentality of, let's just say, for instance, if I'm trying to save you from drowning, I can't be in there drowning with you. So when we move on, just because we move on and our mentality change, don't mean we forgot. See, we mistake it as because I want better means I forgot where I came from. No, the reason why I want better is because I remember where I came from.
exactly. Yeah. Agreed, 1,000%. But one day at a time, one step at a time. And I do feel overall society is waking up and seeing all of the issues that we should have seen, 2, 3, 4 decades ago. We're finally acting and making a better society with the decisions that we're making, and we're actually learning to work together. Finally,
Right.
finally.
Yes.
All right. So we're coming to a close, to an end, but I want you to tell the audience, how can we continue to support you? Please drop those handles.
Oh, wait a minute. First of all, that's it. I got a lot more. No, I'm just playing. Well, everyone, first and foremost, make sure you subscribe to Bold and Driven Entertainment Production. So it's Bold and Driven EP on YouTube. You can also follow Bold and Driven on all platforms, Bold and Driven EP. And then you can follow me by typing in Mr. TMI space Tate on both Facebook and Instagram. I don't like Twitter.
Why don't you like Twitter? Like, what's wrong with Twitter?
Just the whole concept. I tweeted. I just don't like
that.
I
got you.
It's just weird.
It has always been weird, but you'd be surprised how many followers you can get from Twitter. If you have to tweet constantly, that's the only thing.
Right. But they done made it into a little petty little. I mean, all social media is, but Twitter is really. Did you see what they tweeted? I'm like,
exactly. I agree. But we do what we got to do until we get where we're trying to go. So
absolutely.
With that being said, I just have to thank you for being on the show. I don't know what 2 words I was trying to say at the same time, but I want to thank you for being a guest on the Sisters Talk podcast. It was such an honor to have you today, and you definitely dropped a lot of gems and helpful advice to future and existing entrepreneurs. So guys, make sure you support Mr. TMI Tate. You see his YouTube link right down below streaming. Make sure you go and subscribe to Bold and Driven EP. And let me tell you, I know this man has a lot of work lined up. If you're just now joining the stream, yes, we're wrapping up, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Make sure you also subscribe to Bold and Driven EP. And we just want to continue this movement of sharing information between entrepreneurs. I noticed a lot of people were saying, oh, you only have Black people on your show. That's not true. I interview all races of all cultures and all religions. If you tune in or go back and play some of the previous episodes just as early as November of 2021, you'll see that. So I don't have to prove anything here. I'm the host. I created this show to, spread the information about entrepreneurs. But in the particular time that I opened up this show in 2019, most definitely minority companies, businesses, and entrepreneurships and owners, they were struggling, to get their information out there. So I thought it would be key to have a show like this in one of the largest cities in the U.S., which is Houston, to go ahead and start promoting those businesses out here. And so I'm very happy to see, not just because of Sisters Talk, but other podcasts that started joining that same wave, that it's important that we share each other's content. It's important that we continue to support each other's businesses. We're going out buying things from other corporations when there's people right there in our community that sell similar products, if not better products. So just keep all of that in mind. I think as a whole, we're doing a great job. I think we're finally waking up and we're paying attention to what matters. And that's what's most important. Last thing I wanted to leave with you guys, this is not the last show of the month. I will be interviewing another person on the 23rd of January. That will be one day after the project that I'm working on that we'll start filming. So as you guys know, I'm super busy as always. And right now, if you guys go to Facebook right now, we're going to start filming a project, a short film, horror film, which is called Telling Bones. And I'm super excited because I have a team. Finally, this is what I have been praying for all of my life. It's like I do all these things, and most of the time I'm doing it alone. But I just feel so grateful to God to have an extraordinary team of people of all ages and all ethnicities and backgrounds to really help me bring in this concept together. And this is my first horror short film. So I'm excited because I love Halloween. That's like one of my favorite holidays. So I'm looking forward to see how this will wrap up, and who knows where you may see this movie in the future. And I'll just keep you posted. But for now, make sure you go to the facebook.com Facebook page, and that information is right here across the screen. Just inbox me if you need the direct link. And as always, we want to thank you for tuning into the Sisters Talk podcast. And I pray you guys have a safe and blessed Sunday. Thank you, Mr. TMI Tate.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on.
Bye, guys.